All right. So there we go. Let's go. Nice.
Hello again, Smite fans, and welcome back.
All right,
if you
let's
weren't
go.
totally
This is
scared
it.
away by
This
what
is
just happened
it.
a second
Let's
ago,
go.
I am now here with Pawn and AJ. So welcome aboard, y'all. Yeah, yeah,
You're on mute, dude.
Pawn looks to be a little stuck.
You're on mute. We're gonna see gameplay.
AJ,
That
I'm
dude
having
Pawn,
trouble
he's
hearing
usually
you
the
on
one
my end.
that kicks off and actually plays them, and for all the other stuff, all the other guys that came.
Oh yeah. Okay. I've been jumping in the
There
show
it
late.
is.
This is my bad.
Yeah, there
I'm
you go.
throwing
There
off
it
a little
is.
bit. I usually jump in earlier. Thanks.
Yeah, it's fine. We're here. So looks like Pawn is still a little frozen, so he'll pop back
He's
up.
not
but
frozen.
yeah,
He's
we're-
just really deeply focusing on his new God release.
Hey,
You're saying he
we
was
were all
scared
having
because, like,
stream
the
issues
trailer
today,
was
right?
like,
We were all
Have you
having
ever
stream
seen,
issues today, but we're
Paul play
luckily
Pro League?
we're
He's
good
just
now.
always frozen.
He must have the same ISP as me.
Like, that's what Pon's doing right now. That's just his patch notes face. So
We
he's
are
here. Don't worry about it.
intensely focused. Got it. Well, we're here for Cliodhna. We're excited for her release. We finally let y'all see her recently, and there's a lot to go about her. So, AJ, do you just want to dive in and start talking about kind of what Cliodhna looked like as we were flushing her out?
All right, here we go. Let's go.
I can go into some of the brief overview on her.
Yeah.
Cliodhna is the Celtic Banshee Queen. She is a member of the Tuatha De Dan, which is kind of like the Olympians, or just the Council of Gods in Irish and Celtic mythology. We've been really set on wanting to do kind of a ghostly character for a very long time. It has a very unique look to it, a very unique set of mechanics that we could bring to the game, and we were really looking for the right character, the right time, the right place. We actually went through a lot of alternate
That actually looks
choices
pretty
and
awesome,
trying to
dude.
make up our decision here before we settled on Cliodhna the Banshee.
There we go.
And
Oh man, she does look like a banshee, don't she?
Oh yeah,
She is
Looks
spooky.
so good, absolutely spooky.
Look at her fingers.
there's a lot of interesting lore to Cliodhna, which I'm sure Pawn could.
Ooh, that
mention
knife
if
is nice
I
too.
forgot anything,
That's
but
pretty
She's actually
pretty cool
quite
knife.
a complicated goddess. There's
Or
a lot
mini
of
sword.
interesting tales about her powers involving love and romance and beauty, which we chose to take a slightly different direction with our depiction, just because of the character being a banshee and the queen of the banshees. I think players would have been a little confused if Queen Banshee looked like a kind of a beautiful normal woman. So we leaned into the actual banshee, which is the beings that she rules over, and made her really look like the most epic version of all of those banshees instead.
I can definitely.
How many
see it.
abilities? She
Definitely.
probably has 6, I think.
She's definitely creepy.
Oh yeah, and it's only exonified by seeing her in action. So are we ready to steer in game?
I think we're good. Clean attacked my webcam, so I think we've resolved that now. So I think we can go straight.
Okay, there
into
we
game
go.
and
Here we
off the
go.
kit.
Let's get some gameplay
Awesome.
here.
Let's
She is
see what's
a
going on,
physical
Let's go.
melee
This is it.
assassin, which I know people
Correct. So we're gonna show what happens when you might fight Cliodhna first.
What the hell?
She is a terror in the jungle. Let's show off the rest of the abilities.
That was
Oh,
scary
that's-
already.
That was spooky.
Okay.
And of course,
Gotta do
Interesting.
It. Show everybody.
There it is.
Yes. Look
In
at
the wall.
What?
how amazing this is.
so
That's
awesome
so
stuff there.
awesome.
She is
Marvel, this
truly
guy.
horrifying.
Oh yeah, and so many things to go over there.
What?
Let's get into it. Let's start with that passive. Lay it down for us.
Yep, so the passive is Phantasmal. So the idea here is that she can essentially take on a ghostly form and walk into walls. And so you can see here, as I walk into that wall, I have a brief entering time
Look
before I
at
go in
that.
there. But now that I'm in here, I can
Is she
actually
taking damage?
walk completely into this wall, walk through it, walk anywhere I want to, and then I can exit at any time.
I think she's
And
taking
you can see that I'm
damage.
taking more and more and more damage as I stay
Yeah.
inside here. This passive has a lot of rules about what you can or can't do with it. So the first one is it has a cooldown. You can only do this once every 16 seconds, and it happens when you leave. The second is that if you're crippled or below 25% health, you can't enter the wall. So if you're able to cripple her or get her low enough health, she can't just immediately sneak away into a wall. And the third is that when you have this on cooldown, you actually have an indicator in-game like, hey, you can't do this. You can't go into this wall at all. So there's a whole bunch going on here to make sure that, one, it's conveyed really clearly as to your ability to enter a wall, but also making sure that there's counterplay options. When you're inside a wall, you can see here.
What ability said? They said is that her 2 or 4?
I heard that earlier. That's an indicator that she is actually
I missed
in
it.
the wall next to you, and if I walk out of it and walk in it, you'll be able to hear an audio cue that you've actually entered within an area around her. So you have some indication that you might get jumped on within a few seconds.
Passive.
Wow.
So
It has to be
The
triggered
ability
something, though.
is
You
an
just don't walk
absolute
into a wall.
Technical marvel. The amount of
Yes.
programming and engineering that went into this ability, this single ability.
Oh, I see.
Might be one of the top in all of Smite.
So you got to
history
keep pushing
rival
forward
All
against
Around
the
Alton
wall,
the
and
Morrigan.
then you go
Honestly.
in. It takes a second for her to
all
cast
the
the portal.
interesting choices we had to make involving what we wanted to show, what we wanted to render while players were in the wall, how we got the most important information, how we showed those borders, the boundaries of them, showed nearby gods, as well as this whole like kind of dark realm she's in. Because if you just walk into a Smite wall, like you'll see all sorts of the insides of video game models, or clipping through things. So you couldn't just walk the camera through the wall. We really had to change the visuals intensely to even make this work at all.
So you go forward and then she waves her
playable,
hand and then she
all
goes
of
in.
these
It's not
things just came
instant.
together in
There's
an
going to be like a
absolute
second,
beauty, and like
a
I'm just
second
so
and a
proud
half
of our team.
delay.
This is really working magic as far as video games go. I'm just really impressed. This is something we've been wanting to do for years, and we finally made it happen.
Yeah, especially like from just how we actually present this, like the programming team has an algorithm that runs through the map to generate these walls, because again, like this rock might have collision that's separate from this wall, and even though as a player this looks like one solid unit, it very much isn't. So we actually had to generate these walls on the fly in real time during gameplay. The team did a whole bunch of optimization. I don't think we can really understate how much tech went into this, and overall has created such a smooth experience for this. I'm super happy with this passive.
So now the question is,
And, I
will
mean, it's
this
just
ability
from a
work in
perspective,
Arena?
Too, of somebody who isn't, I'm not as much on the back end with the programming side, but even just from my perspective, it is insane to look at. The way the imagery of it all looks so good, the way that the gods are highlighted, just everything about it looks so good from every angle. It's a great addition. So
you can
let's
also see.
The creepy
Dude, that's
And
pretty
the only other thing
creepy.
I want to mention is
That's
there's a few other
definitely
rules
pretty
here. When she's in the wall, she is completely unseeable and undamageable. So things like
I
new
told
wall,
you. I
Higgy,
told you.
that makes sure that there's no weird edge cases that can occur, but it also makes sense because he's like. become
So
completely
when you
unseeable.
hear that new wall,
Additionally, you can
alt
actually
coming,
see,
you
so I
just
have
go
a
into the
board
wall
here.
and you're
There's definitely
fine.
Cliodhna
It's
in
a
the
free
wall.
age.
I can't see her. The only indication I have that she's there was the fact that I could like hear her around me. And when she goes in the wall, she completely disappears as well. So that's the main rules that you'd want to know about when you're fighting this. Is when she's in the wall, she's very much safe.
Yeah,
but
she's
again,
definitely
she's
more
taking
for
tick damage where
conquest for
she's
sure.
in there.
Everything's
So
for
she's on a
conquest,
timer.
dude.
She
They
has
don't
to get out of there.
design
So you
anything
can
for
surround,
Arena,
like,
dude.
a wall, like especially some of the
Come
smaller
on, you know
walls,
we're redheaded
you can stop her
stepchildren
escape
of
paths, and
Smite.
If she
Come
chooses to
on.
stay in there for too long, you can just kind of wait her out. And if she exits, she's going to be like half health if she couldn't get anything going. So there's a lot of counterplay opportunities there. And I think the only final thing to mention, because this passive again is probably the biggest part of her kit. She has 10% physical ability lifesteal while she's inside a wall, as well as for a brief window when she exits. This is kind of encourage aggression with it. You want to use it aggressively against
She's
your
gonna be
opponents and
annoying
kind of
for
offset the damage that
everything.
you're taking inside the wall, at least for the very first
If she
window of
go
opportunity you have.
in Arena,
So
she can go in
just
those
an extra nice thing
pillars.
that she can use if she
In
wants to use
addition to the
aggressively.
wall where the minion buffs
Now,
are.
I know we're going to get a lot of questions.
That's gonna
and
be a
Pom Pom,
pain.
Clarify me if I'm wrong, but just to make things a little bit easier, when people are like, "Oh, can I new alter in a wall? Can I Nox dash inside her and
See?
go into a wall? Can I Horus dash
See?
to her and then she go in the wall?" The answer is no to everything. Like we pretty
See?
much
Told you.
remove Cliodhna from the game.
I told you.
While she's in the wall,
Yes.
you don't get
So
to
when
do.
Nox-
We're really trying to make sure that we're We're trying to make sure we get a lot of those difficult edge cases out of the way, a lot of potentials for
I knew it, man. I knew it.
unintended gameplay. Really, we're focusing this entirely on Cliodhna's movement is the goal of it. We're not really wanting situations where other gods are getting pulled into walls or hitting her or anything. So she is completely
Arena's not
disconnected
well.
in as many ways.
Arena's
as
not
possible
wall
while
heavy,
she's in those
but
walls. And of
the
course,
pillars are
during your PTS
strategically
sessions and your
planned in
early
the
testing
middle.
And the people who love to try to
So
find
if you hear a new wall, you can
any
go
of
into
those
the
edge cases
pillar,
still work,
wait until the ult's over,
please-
and come
please do
out.
report those, and we will take a look at them immediately. But that is our design intent, right?
Or if you're getting chased down,
and super
you
rapid
can go
fire
through the
against
minion
suppression
wall.
I'm seeing.
Both of the
Nox
minion
gets
walls get to the
auto-ejected,
wall,
she can't
and then
eject inside the
you
wall,
know,
so she just gets
unless
kicked
there's
out.
a leaping god that
Athena,
can't
if
get
you
you.
walk under before she enters a wall, you'll just go to the last valid location Cliodhna was standing. You
The
can't
last
walk under her
valid
while she's
location
inside a
rule.
wall.
Yeah.
Those are the major ones. Horus, when you start flying there, you'll just stop at the wall. Tsukiyomi, if you ult her before she enters the wall, you'll kind of she'll be removed from your dash target list, so nothing will really happen in that case. So we've done a lot of
And
testing here.
Tsukiyomi,
I'm sure you guys
exactly.
will
As soon
find
as you hear
something, but we've done,
Tsukiyomi
the
start
best we can to make sure
ulting,
that
just go into
this
the wall and
very,
you're fine.
like game-breaking.
That's pretty OP.
because this does fundamentally break a lot of the rules that we have in Smite. Is intuitive, is smooth, and
And it's only a second delay, so as soon as you hear him, you can just go right into the
The
wall.
biggest thing that hurt my feeling about that was learning that you can't, give high fives to like Chernobog if he's in the wall. So, oh well.
Yeah, unfortunate.
So how about Banshee's Wail? Let's see what her her first ability looks like.
So let's do the first ability. We have the Banshees Wail. This is a 3-part channel. Oop. Something weird. There we go. Sometimes in this dev it can get a little bit funky. So we got the scream. It's 3 parts. The final hit hits the hardest, and you can
So
see
it's a
that final
Cerberus
scream
one.
actually causes the target to be silenced, but that's not all. They're also deafened when that hits. If Lermy is here, if she wants to cast
Yeah,
the
it's a
ultimate and then
Cerberus
hit you
one,
with
that's what
the
that is.
deafen ability, you'll be able to hear the audio disappear. So you can hear that kind of dip out and then dip back in of the audio.
What the heck
This is
that?
essentially removing your ability to hear for just a brief window of time, and then so like a Raul could potentially snipe you or Thor could dunk on you. Just a nice nod to the fact that this is a loud Banshee just wailing into your ear.
That is so wild.
And that's not all. It has a passive interaction. When you're inside the wall, you
There you
can
go.
cast it along the wall, and you might wonder what is that thing that's screaming instead of Cliodhna. Well, if Lermy can cast the one, you have Spooky Wall Face that was at the end of the
Oh,
trailer.
nice.
Yeah, so I know there were some expectations potentially for a stance changer for this character, which we're not super keen on doing, but you can kind of look at this kit as if it was a stance change because you have the in the wall
Yeah, that's
kit
what I thought,
and
man.
the out of the
I
wall
told
kit.
y'all,
You have
man,
lot
it's
of
gonna be like a
different
King
changes to
Arthur
all
and
the
Olar.
abilities, depending on whether you're in or out.
And it is just insanely spooky. It's jump scares, man. I'm gonna be walking through the jungle, going to get my speed camp, and a face is gonna pop out, and I'm gonna
It
alt F4
silences
by
at the
accident,
end.
out of fear.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
So
pretty
we
OP,
can go to the
dude.
next ability. We
Let's do
have
it.
Flickering Visions. So Flickering Visions is actually a line skill shot with an exploding AoE. Pretty standard stuff. But you can see that that target is marked. And what that target mark means is that they can no longer see me. So if I were to hit the center Odin would lose sight of me, but the other Odins can totally see me still. It's a targeted stealth. So only the person that I
Interesting.
hit is actually views me as stealth. And if when he wants to cast it, we can see what that looks like. So she completely disappears from my vision. If she then uses the 2 and then attacks, you can see that she kind of flickers into existence for that attack. I can also try and hit her to also reveal her. So it follows a lot of similar rules with like revealing based off being hit.
So it's kind of like a
this is essentially
Loki.
a way that she can hit you with the 2, and then if she wants to try and run away, she potentially can. If she wants to try and get into a wall, she can. If she wants to get around you and surprise you from the other side, where you weren't expecting it, she can. But
Yeah,
the rest
that's
of the team
definitely gonna be
can see
annoying.
this. And so you can also kind of play off your team's ability of fighting Cliodhna to potentially get vision on her as well. Just a very
Yeah, that's
different take
definitely
on the
gonna be
stealth that we've
annoying,
had in the
dude.
game from before, from other stealths that we have in the game.
And the fact that you have to hit someone before you can become stealth helps remove a lot of the other.
wonder how long it
frustration
lasts.
elements
Probably
regarding
lasts like
stealth,
3
where you can
seconds,
use
I
it when
bet
you're,
you.
very far away to engage or to escape. Really, this is like a really unique take on combat stealth, which lets her get a little bit of positioning or a very specific one-on-one advantage in a skirmish, which I just think is super smart design and a very cool evolution for the game.
Thank you.
And it adds It adds such a level of mental play too to being in the jungle, because if you're in a jungle fight, you hit somebody with that and then dive into a wall to attack, even if the blind wears off and they can hear you, there are walls all over the jungle. Who knows where you're going to come from? So there's a lot of play there, and I think that's really cool.
I don't know, man. I don't
And
know.
it is
That's
an AoE, so if you hit multiple gods, with
how
the
that's going to
explosion,
work
they
in
all
arena, to
can't
tell you
see
the truth.
So it's not just one
Since it's
person.
such a
So if you're able
really
to touch
tight
them all
space. I
together,
mean,
you could
it's
potentially
definitely going to
deny the
help to
entire
try to
team losing on you
escape.
if you are able to get that skill shot off.
So much to play. That's super awesome. So how about ability number 3? What's going on?
I wonder if you use that and then hit your
So ability
trinket
number
for
3 is
your heavenly
Urgent Claw.
boots if it
This is the
reveals
movement
you.
ability of the kit, as well as a kind of different way of doing a cone attack. So we have a charge into a cone fire. So you can see it's pretty straightforward there. The dash does damage, the claw does damage, but you can stop it at any point. So you can charge forward there, you can charge, cancel a bit early, you can aim freely while you're charging, turn around and cancel wherever you want. So this is basically, you can choose to move as far as you want, and then once you cancel, you're going to
So it's like a Medusa attack.
This does have another interaction with the wall, which is you can cast it while you're inside the wall. So you saw when we showed off the ability at the start, you can actually just jump out of the wall, and you can see you actually cover quite a bit of distance, as well as this charge is a little bit longer as well. So the normal dash length I think is about 45, and the wall dash is 50 if I recall correctly. So you get a
We
little
should also
extra
note
distance.
that ability
on top of that.
2 just cannot be used in a wall.
Correct.
Yeah,
Which we
so
didn't
the
cover.
1
People
and
might have been
3
saying, what about the ability 2 wall? And the answer is no.
Yep, and you can see similarly, you also can't fire relics as when you're inside.
Yeah,
as
so it's
well.
like the
Similar things
Medusa,
there.
the
They
can't return to base.
Medusa charge,
Nope.
kind
If
of.
you're trying back, you can start it, but
take
you're
damage.
gonna take damage and not be able to. But yeah, this is your ability.
I like
especially
it that
if you're
they
trying
make
to gank,
you
like, mid lane.
Take
This is your
damage
way
while
to,
on the
like,
wall,
can
so you don't
jump
have
into
those
this
freaking
wall,
campers that
maybe
just
you
sit
know there's no
inside the
ward
wall
here,
forever. You know what I'm saying?
jump up here, and
So I
then
think
crowd
that's a
this
pretty
wall,
good, cool
gank the enemy
touch.
mid laner. Pretty spooky stuff if you try to face it.
Oh yeah, love it too, and I love that you can, like you showed off, dash through and get behind. It's great for positioning or for stopping somebody from running by getting in front of them. Super handy. So let's talk about her ult. Let's talk about the final, tearing the veil.
Yep. So the final
Okay,
portion
this
of
is what I
the-
wanted
of
to
the
see
kit
right
is
here.
called
Let's
Tearing the
go.
Veil. This is where she uses her claw to tear a rift between the veil of life and death and call forth her banshees. So she casts this, a rip opens, and you can see there it kind of bursts open in a big attack, and then a whole bunch of banshees come flying out of it. This ability has that burst is higher damage, followed by tick damage that decreases. So you really want to try and land an initial hit. Does quite a bit of damage. But enemies do have a lot of warning that it's coming, so they can try and avoid it. You can see there, she tried to hit me with it from inside the wall, but I saw it in time, was able to back up. You gotta be careful when you're fighting against the Cliodhna.
That'll be
But
good to
I also
combine
have
with
two charges
a
of it, so
Odin
this is
or
actually
with
a
an
charge based
Ares or a
on-
Daji.
And the reason for that is, one, to give you a bit of flexibility when using this. so
Or
you can
with
choose to
a
cut off
Nox
opponents,
and
you can choose
Anubis
to try and directly damage them.
lockdown.
But when you're inside the wall,
That would work out
it
beautifully.
actually acts completely differently. So here you can see I cast it, and it just
So
kind of
Anubis,
sits there on the wall.
Baron
It's
Rat,
actually not gonna do
Nox
anything.
lockdown, and
It's not
that
gonna
ult,
do
that's going to be a
anything
pretty
until an
nice
enemy
combo.
actually walks over here. If Lermy is available. There we go. You can see it actually activates there when she actually walked near it. So she's able to place wall-based traps that go off. So if you want to use this to try and potentially... one place that was pretty common for us to use was at this Gold Fury pit. If you place one here, and you can kind of cut off this path, enemies who walk in here might choose to walk forward, their teammates might choose to walk backwards, and now they're split up. So a lot of interesting things you can do with that. We want to give you the flexibility to play around with it. So it has 2 charges, and its damage and number tuning is kind of tuned to that. So you have that flexibility.
This ability has a lot of unique applications. It's really good for cutting off paths.
Dude, if
as
you
it's a pretty
cut out
potent
between
slow, even if
the
you don't
two
get hit by
walls
the
where the
initial
minions
hit,
are, if you give, somebody's
but you
giving
know, it's a new
chase,
God's Success,
that would work
so,
out beautifully.
Thanks, Bon
Right.
for that one. And
Yeah.
Welcome.
it's also, when you're placing your traps, it can be really smart to place them so that they open and like fire
Or between
further
the
down
two
a jungle
pillars
path
in the
instead of
middle?
just, like into a short path. Like you might think you want to just place them in that short bottleneck there, but it's much better to place one, right there, because you effectively cut off the difference between those two placements. Cuts off a large amount of choices where you can run right past it briefly, but if you run past the other one, you cannot really retreat into your own jungle without being hit by
They
it.
say,
So
can the
really
can the
some smart
enemy
positioning
see
here
that
can do a
rift
lot
on the
to
side of
route
the wall?
enemies around. It's
I
a little
didn't
harder to
remember
just
they
get
said
straight
that
up
or not.
burst damage with this, but you can do a lot of good to lock people in place, and she also has a really fun jump animation that we've just been spamming
really
internally like
ghosty.
nonstop. So the animation team really went above and beyond on this character all across the board, and she's an absolutely beautiful goddess.
Oh yeah, and there's one other thing I wanted to show off since we were able to show it is, again, a lot of teams did a lot of new tech to really make sure this character came to life, and one thing that you saw in the trailer was when she screamed, you actually saw the kind of like mask tear apart and the hood tear apart, and you had the kind of spooky face reveal. So I just want to make sure that we show that off.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
she does actually do it in game. Her hood melts away, and her hair all flies back, and her face changes.
Let's slow-mo it so you can see it.
Oh, she turned around.
So there's the
Dude, I
spooky
already
face.
sent
On
that
slow-mo,
frickin'
some of
link,
it
like,
looks a little bit weird,
100
but you can
frickin'
see there
times.
that the hood completely fades
There
away,
it goes.
the hair
Oh, it
goes
looked great.
flying, the face gets revealed.
Yeah.
We also use that in some of her other animations, some of her other just flavor animations outside of the ability. So you'll see that, I believe, on her intro when you first select her in a lobby. She'll come out and scare you, and then she'll put on her cleaner face just to hide away. And you'll also see that in some other animations throughout the kit.
God, that is so.
I don't know,
super
dude. She
awesome.
looks kind of
What a great
complex to
attention
me, to tell you the
detail.
truth. And bar
Lots of
none,
really
she's
cool
definitely
flavor things
designed
all
for
throughout the kit
conquest.
on all
But
the
in arena, I
animations.
think she could
For
have
example, her
some.
laugh, 'cause it didn't feel potentially correct for
She's
her
gonna
to,
be a
like,
pain in the
laugh
butt
and
in
be
arena
super
too, to
cheery.
tell you the truth.
She actually has like this kind of wailing laugh instead. Just a lot of really small details.
Now, one of the cool things is she can set up that rift
That's
and
super
walk away
awesome,
from it.
yeah.
It's not channeled, so as soon as she
Oh, yeah, and
casts
also
it,
we
she
didn't
can
talk
walk
about the
away.
basic
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The basic attack, she uses the Falcana for her first 2 attacks. They do normal damage, and her final attack is actually a heavier claw-based attack. So you can see here that
She
I'm
has a
actually
cleave.
noted for harder on the final hit. So she does have a hit chain, and that does mean that if she's able to stay on a target, especially during like the 2, because
Yeah.
when she hits a target with this, she has a bit increased movement speed as long as someone can't see her.
Yeah,
She can
she's
get behind a
definitely
target
be
and
ability.
really get that
Heart
powerful
Seeker is going to
final
work
attack,
really
which is
nice
what
for
a lot of
her.
us
Yeah.
prefer.
The hit
Super
chain feels
awesome.
great, and her jungle clear feels real great. That ability 1 is real quick.
Vim of
jungle
Focus
clear,
might
although,
work
it does
well on her,
require her
too.
to channel, but it's a perfect shape and speed to clear out the jungle really well. So she feels really smooth as you go.
Maybe
through your
even
jungle.
mannequins.
Yeah, especially
Hidden
I
Blade,
imagine,
it might
especially
work
once you
good-
learn,
well
like,
on
which
her
walls you
also.
can dive in and out of
At the
early
end,
to,
anyway.
like, balance your health costs with how quickly you cover the map. There's just so much play style potential here for her to optimize jungle routes that only she is capable of by being able to walk through walls like that.
It's true.
Oh, the singing is so ominous.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
when she's around you in the jungle, it is legitimately terrifying.
Yeah, well, that is awesome. Thank you for showing in game. I appreciate that a lot. Let's move on. Let's see some of the skin she's gonna come out with. So we have her basic recolor skin, the Banshee Queen cleanest skin. So we'll look at that.
Oh, that looks nice.
That looks
The
awesome.
artwork looks really nice.
I love the
course.
red hood and the red blade. It's amazing.
All it
Yes.
is a reskin and color. I mean,
All the
it's
recolors and skins are really good.
just
I
recolor.
agree. Oh yeah, that looks great.
This actually might be the bugged version.
Yeah, I think she's
So,
gonna be a little
I can't
difficult.
tell. The
In,
Carter's
So
she's gonna be a little
so
difficult
so
in arena.
The ascended art actually looks more
but
like this. The recolor.
The
is
players that
kinda
get
deep
good
red.
with her in
It
arena,
will
I
have
think
that
are
deep
gonna
red.
be a
We
pain in the
identified an
butt,
issue where
dude.
they were kind
I
of
think if
mixing
you
them with
master
HD.
her
So
in
you'll see the
arena,
deep
she's
red
gonna
version you
be.
saw in the card artwork,
she's
and
gonna
this
be a
is gonna
pain.
match close to the ascended one that I'm
Because
sure
I'm
you'll see.
already
we'll
thinking
see.
of
If
the
we see
tactics
the
I could
Ascended
use
turn
with
around
her
and it looks
already.
the
My
same,
brain's
we'll
already
confirm
working.
the bug, for sure.
All right, well,
So we're
We're
gonna have
all
to see how
being
she
part
feels.
of the QA team together right now.
Nice.
yeah. Well, there's the
That's
ascended
pretty
skin.
cool.
Here we are at the ascended skin. So yeah,
And
I
we
can see what
had
you
to
mean
do a
there.
card art with the Banshee scream. We couldn't have her
Of
looking
course.
Oh, yeah.
as
Special
beautiful
work
in
too,
all of the
but
card arts. I was
build
like, we
some
had to
attacks
have one of
being
these. And
turned,
there's
build
some
to
cleaner
take
players are
advantage
more
of
like,
auto
okay,
attacks,
yeah,
yeah.
that's definitely more along the more that's too close. So
We're gonna have to wait and
that,
see when
first
she comes out on
turnaround was,
PTS
like,
server to
bug,
see
we'll
how
still see that red
she
version
comes
later on
out.
in the patch once we get that sorted out. Sorry to the
I
video.
think they say
team
she
who
comes
made
out
these nice turnarounds
October
for us
10th,
without,
so
before
usually a
we
week
confirm-
before, 2
before we
weeks
confirm
before
that
they
the
do
bug existed.
PTS. Oh
Yeah,
hell,
we'll do a
maybe
QA
this
together as a
next
family.
week might be PTS.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
have to
what
keep my
that's
eye
what
out.
PTS and patch notes are for. That's like the whole point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next we
PTS
have,
might be
the
this weekend for all we
masteries,
know.
So love the gold and blue always.
If you guys hear about the PTS server when it goes live, let me
good.
know.
I
Let me
love-
know
I mean,
either
just
Discord
this
or
character
let me
in
know on,
general is
on
just
any of
so
the comments of
cool,
any
yeah.
of our videos, man.
Oh, I love the
golden
gold colored like
blade.
I
fog
definitely want to try her out. I'll do a
Oh, yeah,
pre-release
that's
video
awesome.
on her
and the blade looks so good.
It really does.
next week. Okay, I'll look at it.
Ooh,
I'll do
the
a
golden
pre-release
black.
video on her.
I just like how much gold
I
in general she has on her.
Unless
I
I
something
always
comes up.
like this gold and black, but she just blue complements her so well that the golden and
Oh.
diamonds actually look really great.
I like that sword. That
As
sword's
if there
pretty
wasn't
cool.
enough
Oh, the hair color,
incentives to
yeah.
play her.
Sword
The hair
slash
color is
Rambo
also
knife.
a deeper blue.
Yeah, the diamond
Really neat
complements
stuff.
just her natural
Yeah.
And
character
we
color. So
also have one very special surprise, and that she's actually getting a real skin this same update, right?
that is exactly true.
Ah,
Deadly
yes.
Doll Cliodhna.
Mhm.
Oh,
Dude, that looks like
And you thought
something
she
like
couldn't
It
get
is
any
terrifying.
creepier.
from that movie Saw.
yeah. And
And not only
as-
did
as
we
I
make her
kind of-
creepier, oh, you
Yeah.
got something for us?
You go first.
Oh, well, we got to see the turnaround. I was
Of
kind of
course.
leading into it. I guess I jumped the gun a little bit. Oh yeah,
Oh, dude, that looks creepy as hell.
look at that face and then
Golly,
the head
dude.
and the hair. A lot of changes up there too. Which this one
Yeah.
has to have
Oh
a Banshee
man,
face
that
screen
looks
as well,
creepy,
right?
bro.
Yeah. No, the
What was
Banshee
it, Toy
face
Story
is,
or whatever? Those
believe
creepy
it or not,
people? That's
scarier
what she
than
looks
that.
like.
Oh wow.
Like those creepy people on
And
Toy
also,
Story.
when she uses the wall version, the wall version also has a different face as well. So
Oh
definitely some
man.
surprises to look out for.
And just the fun things to think about for future skins for this character.
Annabelle. That's what it
What's-
looks like.
what's your
That
voice
that
line for this
horror
one? We have
movie
a voice line.
Annabelle. Eesh.
Those mean ones didn't pick me. They will know what it
Enchantress
feels
and
to be
Suicide
tossed
Squad.
aside.
That's creepy.
That's
Brutal.
very creepy. So this is also going to be a part of. This is in the Halloween chest that we mentioned above. This was the mystery skin that we made y'all wait for. So just so many good things here with Cliodhna. We're so excited.
Dude, I'm not
about
buying
it.
that skin.
So
That thing's
actually,
creepy.
Again, just I have chills. I have there were thrills. It's all good things happened today, and I am so happy y'all are hanging
Sweeney
out.
Todd. Yeah,
that
that
is the
kind
end
of
of
does
the
give a
update
Sweeney
show.
Todd.
Thank you, Pon.
Annabelle
Thank
from the
you,
movie
Ajax, for
Conjuring,
tagging
yeah.
along and
They
explaining
actually have a
Cliodhna, and,
Annabelle
I would
has her
scream
own movie
probably
too as a
if I had to
spin-off
do it,
from
'cause I
that.
was
But
scared
yeah,
the
that's
whole
what I was
time
talking
when the
about.
cameras weren't on.
That
So,
crazy doll.
I appreciate y'all for coming in and being able to do that because it was horrifying. But otherwise, yeah, we have PTS on Friday. Make sure that y'all get into that when it opens up. And as
PTS
always,
on
as
Friday.
you saw, so many new things with this god. So many amazing mechanical changes and new devices to Smite that
Oh,
we
man.
want y'all to get in there and test it and let us know what you
Yeah.
find. Let us know if anything
Even if I have to
looks
get up
right
early in
or
the morning
just how
to
fun it
do
is. We
that,
also love hearing
I'll
about
try to
that.
cut a
Let us know what
video
you
on
love.
her for sure.
Otherwise, you can look for that update dropping October 19th, and the bonus update will be dropping
October
on
19th?
5th. Thank y'all so much for hanging out. We look
So it
forward
wasn't
to
October
seeing
10th,
you
it's October
in the
19th.
battleground and in the future at everything. Thank you, Smite fans. See you later.
PTS is on the
Bye.
1st, yeah.